Hi everyone, thank you for joining my YouTube video. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Mallory and I am Trendy Vintage Classic across all platforms. Please follow me on Instagram if you do not already, and in my bio you will find the link to my link tree, which has everything, my links to everywhere. I am a reseller on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and whatnot now. So my last video, I talked about how I sourced some items to resell on other platforms and how that was profitable for me. So if you want to know about that and tips for that, you can go back to that prior video. The video right before that was basic tips about whatnot in general, just about getting started. So if you're brand new, you can watch that as well. Tips for trendy. Trips, not trips for trendy. Tips with trendy. Sorry guys, this is late. It's late right now, and I actually finished a late show, and then I popped into another show and was chatting with people, and I just started to realize that there's a huge need and whatnot. I started a Mondays with Mal chat where nothing is expected, there's no shopping, and basically we get together and we just kind of talk, we get to know each other, we network, and it's an open forum for anyone to just share their questions, talk about their upcoming shows, and just kind of get ideas from each other. And it's wonderful. I'm really enjoying that. I've made some really great friends. And with the social aspect of whatnot, like that's what I want to focus on today, because I have talked about sourcing and selling, flipping, all of that. So my shows, well, first, I am selling a decent amount. You have to be consistent. It is hard because it's discouraging, because it's like, it is a lot of work to preload your store and do a good job and have pictures and measurements and material content and all of that good stuff that people want to know. And the main thing is, like, you have to have the items people want too. And so it's really hard when you have people who buy pallets of like Skims and Lululemon, and you feel like you're competing with them. So my main advice is to find your tribe. And what I mean by that is, like I said, I'm going to talk about the social aspect today. So while in general, yes, the community is amazing and mods do so much work, and they're amazing. I'm not trying to come off as negative. I'm actually just trying to maybe encourage some people, because some of the recent shows that I were in, or chats that I was in, this is what I heard expressed to me. And I do notice it too. Some of the bigger shows can just get really like overwhelming, and I see a lot of like newer sellers asking questions or like trying to make friends, and like their voice gets lost among everyone just like chatting and being friends. So like if all the mods are friends and they like have inside jokes and they're just like laughing and chatting, having a good time. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like we do that on my shows. But I always make sure that like every single person that enters, like someone greets them, I ask their name. I say in my shows, throughout my whole show, I say, guys, every time I see someone enter, hey, are you a seller? What's your name? When's your next show? Guys, bookmark their show. What are you selling? My shows are an open platform for everyone, because I'm all about community and building friendships and networking, and I'm not in competition with anyone. We are all different. Now, I was in a show today, and I won't say what show it was or who the mod was, but I was listening on silent and I saw someone promote their show, so I did as well. And this is somebody that I do frequently watch. I didn't just like pop in out of nowhere. I may not buy from her, and that's because she is a bigger seller, and so the items get bid up so high. Like you can get the items cheaper on Poshmark. So I buy from, I like to support the small sellers, and I buy from the small sellers. First of all, because that's what I can afford, and second of all, I feel like they need my support. I don't need to be hyping up someone else that's like doing really well. I feel like my calling is more to help out those who are smaller, and I'm a small seller, to be like, I'm a smaller seller. It takes a while to really build your audience. You have to be consistent. You have to figure out what people want, what they're willing to pay, how to sell it, and all of that. But anyway, so I was on a show, and I wasn't like listening with sound, and I saw someone promote their show, so I promoted my show, and the mod said, oh, she'll allow promotions at the end. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I didn't have my sound on. I saw someone else do it. And someone else did do it. And she was like, oh, no, I was talking about, and then the mod herself had done it. She was like, oh, I was talking about a collab or whatever. But I don't know. Whatnot is very cliquey. I have to be honest. It's very cliquey. And they're like, I don't enjoy that. And I'm not complaining, because to each its own. And for me, I just won't go to those shows. Like, there's nothing to complain about. It's just, don't go to the shows. Like, if you don't get the right vibe, trust your gut and instinct. Don't try to just be friends with people or suck up to people because you think they're popular or something like that. Like, find your own tribe. And if you are discouraged, be encouraged, knowing that there's a lot more of us than there are of like them, like the really high sellers. And I'm not trying to like be divisive. There are plenty like really big sellers that like I personally love and don't get bad vibes from. Like, I'm not saying all bad sellers are bad. Please don't take that the wrong way. There's plenty that I love. I'm just saying, as a newcomer to Whatnot, if you feel discouraged, I'm just trying to encourage you to keep on keeping on. Find your tribe. Like, find people that you click with. Find people that you know are genuine and honest, you know, if you could tell by their vibe. And just shows where you feel like you're being heard. Don't waste your time in shows where you're not getting any response just because like you look up to the seller or you see how well they're doing. So you think like, okay, if I keep coming here, like these people will come to my show. If I buy from them, they'll come buy from me. Because let me tell you, I have like spent a lot of money buying from people in search of that like support, thinking like, okay, I'm going to support them, but it'll come back to me, and it usually doesn't. So support doesn't always mean a cash value. Support is more just being in the chat and hyping up the items and just saying nice things and, you know, helping sell the items, or if they have a question, or if they like forget the word for something. Like when you're selling in front of the camera, you can forget the word. And so I'm always like, if they say, oh, what am I thinking of? I'll be the first person to say, oh, I think you mean mixed media. And they're like, oh, yeah. Thank you, Trendy. So like just anything like that, like just to be helpful. And if someone get on at the beginning of shows, and if someone asks for a mod, usually smaller sellers will just offer to mod. And, you know, that's really how I've built the small relationships that I have, was through modding for people. And just when you're helpful in the chat, someone's going to notice and they'll be like, oh, I'm going to make you a mod, Trendy, you know? And so like, I like supporting people and helping people, especially I have knowledge of reselling. I have knowledge of fashion trends. I have those like keywords and selling points. And so if I could help sell an item for someone, I'm definitely willing to do that. I don't expect anything in return. The relationship is good though, because you do need some friends on here. Like, I would say if you're new, make 1 to 2 friends, like that you constantly like support and go to their show, and them with you. It has to be reciprocal, because it doesn't matter if you show up to someone's show all the time but they don't really talk to you, or they don't go to your show. Like, that's not a reciprocal relationship. So I do appreciate the few friends that I have made on Whatnot, and that has been wonderful. But it is, like I said, it's been very cliquey. There's been a lot of drama, and we're just here trying to make our money, right? Like, I'm here trying to make some money. I'm not trying to be caught up in drama. There's no, stay out of the drama, You know, if you go into a live and someone's talking about it, don't ask. Don't be that person that's like, oh, I missed it. What's the tea? Just stay out of it, you know, because you don't want to be known as that person that's involved in drama. And, you know, you want people to trust you, you know, and people trust you when they know that you're not gossiping and whatever, etc. So yeah, I've just been really disappointed lately, like in the reseller world in general, with all the drama going on, and all of the trolls. There's been a lot of trolls on Whatnot, and if you don't know what a troll is, like, Whatnot has not figured out how to get rid of trolls. So also another tip is turn on verified buyers only before you start a live, and that will get rid of your troll problem, because a verified buyer has to enter their payment information. And so some trolls were bidding up items on sudden death. It goes really fast, and if you hit custom bid right at the end, like somebody bid up an item to like $210, and then right at the last second the other buyer who wanted it like pressed bid, because you're in the zone and you're bidding, and then like won it and didn't want to pay that amount. So obviously the seller was gracious and canceled, but you know, a lot of that has been going on. People putting like weird Pikachu and Pokemon pictures in chats. Like, it's just a lot of weird stuff going on. But anyway, I just get a lot of negative energy. And when I get that negative energy, I just leave it where it is. And so that's what I'm saying for tonight. I'm leaving the negative energy where it is. I'm not putting time into something or supporting something that, like, I don't believe in. And if I don't believe someone is genuine, like, why would I spend my time there? So really, you know, there's so many shows to choose from and so many sellers to choose from. Don't buy into the hype and go into the huge shows. Trust me, if you're new and you just hop into new shows, you're gonna feel left out. They probably won't acknowledge you right away. You'd probably have to be there a good like month talking to them before they would even know your name. And it sounds terrible to say, but like, I know I wasted a lot of time trying to do that. And then I realized, you know what? I'm gonna make my own tribe. I'm gonna find my own friends, and that's what I did. And now I have a little core group of friends that I really do call friends. And I love that. And, you know, if everyone has that and that's what they have on the bigger shows, and that's why like other people feel left out, then, you know, good for them. But at the end of the day, the job of a mod is to answer the questions in the chat, and that's not really being done that much in a lot of the bigger shows from what I personally see from the shows I'm going to. I'm not saying in all bigger shows. Please, again, don't twist my words. I'm trying to be all positive energy here. Again, just advice for the newer people not to get discouraged, because if I got discouraged, I would just like stop, because it kind of makes me feel like high school again. It kind of makes me feel like, oh, the popular kids, the cool kids, like, and then like people trying to fit in, and then the drama part. And you know what? Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in that. You're here to make money, you're here to sell, and to make friends. So you can do all that. Just trust your gut, trust your instinct, stay away from any negativity or any bad vibes that you get. If you are not being heard in a chat or seen, leave that show, you know, because that's not worth your time. Put your time in where people appreciate it. And there are plenty of people who are wonderful, who really appreciate you in the chat, and who light up when you say something nice to them. And you know, those are the people who remember you. And yeah, like, one last tip is I try to remember people's names, and I have a terrible memory, and I used to like write the names down. And somebody asked me in one of my Mondays with Mal chat, they were like, why are you writing my name down? And I was like, because I'll forget it. And then that's actually how I made like one of my first real friends on Whatnot, because I went into a chat like the next day and I called her by her name. She was like, oh my God, you remember my name? And I was like, yes, of course. And then like we started chatting after that. So that also helps a lot too. And yeah, so just guys, if you're a new seller, don't be discouraged. If you are on just as a buyer waiting to get approved to be a seller, you can still come to my Mondays with Mal chats. There's no pressure. There's nothing like to buy. It's a small group. We just talk, chat, ask questions, and we all learn from each other. And so that's it. That's my little update about Whatnot. Oh, and I also am not neglecting my other platforms. Some people have been totally neglecting Poshmark, and that's also a good opportunity for you and for people like me to keep listing on Poshmark. Remember, use the delist method now that fall's coming, so that those older items can be refreshed and pushed to the top of the search bar and be noticed for fall time. Because so many people are literally emptying out their Poshmark closets to sell on Whatnot, or just neglecting it totally. Some people are clearing out their eBay stores, like crazy stuff, like closing their stores. I would never put all my trust into one place. Never put all your eggs in one basket. So keep listing on the other platforms, because Whatnot takes a while for you to gain momentum. Like it takes a while. You have to be so consistent to get it. Does, and it doesn't matter how many followers you have. Like I have 1.5K followers, and I still won't even get like tops 20 people at my shows. Like usually it's around 12, I don't know, 15. um Tonight I think there was like 17 at one point. Like during giveaways there'll be like 26 or something. You know, that's pretty typical because people want giveaways. But the people who really stick around, yeah. So I mean, it's taking a while, but I'm not getting discouraged. I'm gonna keep going and keep focusing on my other platforms. So I encourage you to do the same. So if you are not yet a seller and Whatnot, and you want tips on how to get approved, come to my Mondays with Mal chat, Trendy Vintage Classic on Whatnot. Give me a follow and come to my chat. You're more than welcome. Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in, and stay positive and motivated and encouraged. Okay, guys? Bye.